My little pony, my little pony.
Hello everyone and welcome to Bronyville. This is Bronyville episode number 34, recorded on December 24th, 2011. It is Christmas Eve, not New Year's Eve. That's next week. I am your host, Apple Cider. Glad to have all you on. We actually have a really full cast today, so this is going to be a good little episode. And yes, we are putting one out for all you that were asking on Twitter. We will not stop, even in the weeks that we have the holidays coming in. First off, I want to go and always welcome my gracious co-host there, Chef Sandy. Hey, Chefers.
Yo.
How you doing, man? You had a busy early day today.
Yep. Busy family Christmas, and then I came home and took a nap, and then I woke up and we're going to do this.
All right. Sounds
great.
Fully rested, your body is ready.
Yes.
All right. Well, also sitting, we actually have probably our first live person to be recording some Bronyville, but we actually have our audio man M in the or Mbulsht, as he is fully pronounced on the Pony Chan. Hey, man.
Hey, how you doing?
You doing all right?
Yeah. Doing good.
Just hanging out, sitting here in my living room, drinking my water, making fun of me in the pre-show.
Maybe the fans will get to hear that sometime.
Maybe, yeah. Well, I need to just force you to do more labor, just like do all the outro stuff.
Yeah, every time you mess up and bump your mic, it's my job.
Yeah,
yeah.
What was that?
Oh, they're not supposed to know that, are they?
Okay. I'm totally pro. And finally, we do have a returning guest back from the marathon that we had ages back. A member who at one point actually did work on the very well-known and possibly responsible for the show, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Hey, it's Rocko's back.
Hey.
Everybody's favorite, everybody's favorite sound-alike for either Arnold Schwarzenegger or whoever else everybody was asking for on the stream.
Slaughter guy?
Yeah, that was a good one. Rocco's been busy. He's working on other things. Can't talk about those things, but he can definitely talk with us a little bit about the industry, which will be a fun little segment that we've got coming up. So good to have you on, Rocko. Good to have you on, M.
Thank you guys. It's an honor to be back and be interact with the fan and you two again.
Yay! Listen to that, Chef. We're loved.
Yay. I like being loved.
All right, well, since we've had these two jokers on before, we just need to do the first two questions just to make sure that they, nothing's changed, because favorite character and favorite episode may oscillate a little bit between. So, Em, we'll start with you. So let's do favorite character, favorite episode.
My favorite character hasn't changed. My favorite character is still Cheerly, the background teacher pony of Ponyville. And my favorite episode, I think last time I was on, I said was Cutie Mark Chronicles. It's changed. It's now Lesson 0.
Oh, actually, you put May the Best Pet Win.
Did I?
You put you've got multiple from this season.
No.
Which one are you going to do?
Oh, I must have derped when I was typing.
So is it Lesson 0?
It's Lesson 0.
Okay,
yeah.
And why Lesson 0, huh?
I love Lesson 0 because as a poster on Pony-chan, you have to have lots of reaction images for when you're talking to people, and well, that episode has some of the best Twilight reaction images that I've screen capped.
If you ever need an insane looking Twilight image, you know exactly where to go.
Yep.
Or just images of everybody else just looking really confused.
Looking frightened, yeah.
I need an image of the Cutie Mark Crusaders looking completely disgusted. Can I find that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
70 of them.
Okay, so that's good. All right, Rocko, we need to just double check in with you. So what do you like thus far?
Well, okay, I think, as usual, Rarity is my most favorite character because she's a fellow artist, a fellow craftsman, pony or craftsman. And my new favorite episode is actually Sweet and Elite. Because I'm a bad person, I like to see my favorite characters suffer.
So
Suffering.
that was a very, let's see. So, actually, I need to go pull that up. Go find the episode. I'm trying to, for some reason, I can't remember Sweet and Elite. What was the synopsis on that one? That was...
Rarity Canterlot.
There you go. That's what I thought it was, but I was just going like,
And it was Twilight Zone.
Social ladder.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Because I was going like that. For some reason, I had that one and Sister Hooves mixed up. So you just like seeing her just get into all sorts of rarity-ish trouble of trying to manage all of her friends and not wanting to seem like a massive redneck.
And I think the thing about the pony characters is their problems are so relatable. So sometimes it can hit so close to home with so many of us. Of course, in this case, it has nothing to do with me, but I'm pretty sure someone out there can feel that hitting right at home. Mm-hmm. If that's the right phrase. Pardon my bad English.
No problem. That is totally fine. If I remember correctly, there was a one other thing you wanted to actually ask at this point. We talked a little pre-show. Was that the music thing, the band?
Oh yeah.
You mentioned that. Go for it.
Yeah. I just been sorting out the MP3s, whatever music files, and extracting the files from the CDs, and I just come to think about it. Rainbow Dash. I just thought of this crazy thought that the album that is best, the song that is the best to describe Rainbow Dash would be Dragon Force's Fury of the Storm from the album Sonic Firestorm. Anyone recognize that one?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yep.
Totally perfect. And that it led me to think about it. How about the other 5? I have my take is follows. Twilight Sparkle, for such an adorable character, such a major nerd, she was totally into Jonathan Cruter. You know, the
nerd, the kind of nerd rock.
And Fluttershy would be America. You know, a horse with no name, and the last unicorn. That's totally her stuff.
So now I'm having to look through all my listings here for some of my favorite music. Let's see. For some reason, I thought something, and of course my tastes are sometimes a little bit lighter, but having like Fluttershy with Alone in Kyoto by Air. Of course do some Rainbow Dash with some of the Foo Fighters that's out there. Yeah, that's just kind of my taste, but that's something kind of fun that he thought of. So, tell you what, let's do this. We can maybe re-hit that back up a little bit later, but let's go ahead and move forward. Chef, what do we got sponsor-wise?
Our sponsors, as always, are We Love Fine, WeLoveFine.com, mighty fine. Use our coupon code Bronyville10 and get 10% off your purchase. And see, now I got a Rainbow Dash hand-embroidered scarf for Christmas. Mm-hmm. So now I need to get the beanie from the store, so I have the matching set for BronyCon.
So you can just completely. So you're going to probably. Do you have a Dash shirt to go with that as well?
If the stuff from the design contest comes in, yes.
So you can have a beanie, a shirt, and a scarf that all have Rainbow Dash on it. You need to get yourself one of the bags. You need to get yourself a hoodie so you can put that over the shirt. Let's see. You're going to if they could make some pants. There's some places where you could get shoes. Not at We Love Fine, but you could get shoes. You could just you could become Rainbow Dash there.
Yeah. Or I'll just get a nice looking hat.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. See, here I was trying to bait you towards going the full instance, but you can just go one at a time. No reason to.
You never go full Brony.
You never go full. All right. So that's our good friends at We Love Fine. Bronyville 10 gets you 10% off. Go get yourself some Brony swag. All right, news time. So, Chef, we're gonna have to. There's one big thing, and I think some smaller things.
Yeah, thankfully this week has been relatively calm in terms of other news. Yeah, there's been some unfortunate DMCA stuff. I think we talked about Alex S. and Zotra getting knocked off again. with some of that silliness.
Though Alex S. is back, actually.
Yeah, I mean, they get knocked down, they get up again. They're never going to keep them down.
Oh, my favorite
And-
Chumbawamba song. Thank you.
But yeah, like Alex S. got DMCA'd by putting terribly fake names. Adolf Bush, really. But they reloaded their stuff, and oh no, they lost their view counts. Oh noes. The big news this week was Ponyarchive.
Hey, so last time we heard, let's summarize what happened last week. So last week that we heard, the question was the cease and desist real? It could just be trolls. You know, right now they're keeping the site up just because they don't think it's real. So what happened, Chef?
Well, it was real, and they reacted in an extremely childish manner. Basically giving the middle finger to Hasbro and damaging the relations with the community by basically being giant holes. I'm going to get a yay for that one. Now, you know, it's one thing to run a site like that, but then when you finally get a standard lawyers, we are lawyers for them, cease and desist, they aren't going to play nice. And so, like, we have a link in the show notes, which is to the Brony News Ponyarchive's Fall full synopsis. And basically, they shut it down, and basically it says, 6 days after the rebellious fight against Hasbro's lawyer at Golenbrook cease and desist notice, Ponyarchive has officially been shut down for legal concerns after the people at Golenbrook allegedly received the owner's IP addresses from Cloudflare, which I guess was the hosting. And there's a synopsis, complete with pretty much everything. And all the responses and all this other stuff. And basically, it comes across as being very self-entitled, very selfish. And they acted like butthurt children whenever they finally got told. And obviously, yes, you know, some people don't like iTunes, and iTunes downloads are not available. But this doesn't help the Hasbro.
Yeah, the you know, yes, iTunes is only works in the States from what we hear. A lot of other regions, it's very hard to find anything. So, for instance, you know, we had a user that mentioned they were from the UK and couldn't, you know, really get access to the show because YouTube doesn't, you know, allow them access on there. And you know, it's one of those things where it's kind of hard to find it, but on the other hand, you know, stuff like cease and desist and things like this are going to happen, especially when something like Ponyarchive that included everything, Season 1, Season 2, high defs, torrents, like everything you could possibly need to get the files are there. It's, as I said, Hasbro is looking out for their interests, and for the most part they have been extremely gracious, but we also have to think, Season 1 is coming out on DVD, so they're probably paring back on some of the things, and that was probably part of it. Now, being like, we'll forget you, stupid Hasbro, ha ha ha, we're going to do this, and then put a Trojan on our site to stick to it as much that we're complete dorks. Yeah.
God, what a dick move. What a dick move. You guys did it, didn't you? All right. Sorry for me.
All right. No, go ahead. We've got you on here to go ahead and do the lay of the land, because I understand that you've got your Detroit Pistons jersey on. You're ready to go. So.
Yeah, okay. Let's. All right. For those of the listeners who don't exactly understand how this works, is that Hasbro is still a large portion of Hasbro's franchise is based upon TV networks. If this goes on rampantly, that means they are not going to get as TV revenue. I don't know exactly how the final out of the whole TV network and stuff and the view rating things, but I mean it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that if this is going uncontrolled, the network are going to take a huge hit on the revenue and on the DVD sale and all those side items, and you have to. The TV commercials is still, as far as I understand, still takes a huge portion of the revenues of whatever networks like make up their income. I mean, if this is going on like this, and Hasbro doesn't get enough out of this, you guys, for all of you massively think about it, would you like to see Hasbro pull the plug on My Little Pony? Sure, I'm not working on Pony anymore, but would you all like to see Sipsy, Raven, Daniel, Jason, Woody, and many of my friends out of the job? Is that all? Is that what you want to see? Seriously, Hasbro's being really, really kind and gracious, providing all those content for and allow us to play around with it and creating such a vast, vibrant fandom. Why do assholes has to bite the hand that gives us this great content? Seriously, you guys are invoking the deepest anger feeling of my Detroit bad boysness. You guys are making me feel like Bill Lambier and Dennis Rodman. You guys are the worst kind of fan. No, you guys don't deserve to be called fans. You guys, I don't know.
Oh, all right. Put the robe on him. Put the robe on him. All right. Lead him back down. It's all right, King. It's all right. All right. So yeah, there's some bad. There's certainly some bad to it. And at the end of the day, all of this is about sales. As much as it would be nice to go, hey, torrent, free media, rah, and there are ways to do it a little bit more elegantly, but for the most being the Hub, Hasbro, Studio B have all been very kind about how they allow some of their media. The fact that the YouTube videos have stayed up as long as they have in many instances is, a really good testament to that. Now, granted, some do get wiped, and who knows if it actually comes from Hasbro or not. But for the most part, look. I've said before in the past, if My Little Pony, let's say the Hub vanishes and it moves over to Cartoon Network, you know how fast Cartoon Network knocks things off of YouTube? Like, they're on it on the day. They notice a video, it's gone immediately. So just think about it. They're doing a pretty good job in keeping this going. Sure, there'd probably be videos on the Cartoon Network webpage and things like that, but they still rein that in really well, much more than anything close to what they allow, on just our fan sites and things like that, YouTube and the sort. So,
please, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Please don't give those guys in U.S. Congress any more excuses for SOPA. What is that Stop Online Piracy Act? That really flawed, and that thing gonna destroy everything we love on internet, like Angry Video Gamer, Nostalgia Critic, or Parental Floss. Please don't give those guys excuses. Please.
Mm-hmm. So, I think that's pretty much the basis. You can read the write-up that we've got there. Just remember, it's a show about, tiny, happy ponies dancing around and being silly and crazy. Yeah, just, you know what? Things are going to happen. It's kind of the basis of a lot of this community built on, let's be honest, I think far more of us watch it on YouTube than we do on the Hub. Or, watch it on someone's streams than we do on the Hub, just because, well, it's not easy to get.
Sadly, I have to watch it on YouTube. I'm from Canada, and we ain't got Hub.
Yeah, so.
And, speaking of YouTube, I just went on to, YouTube and clicked in, My Little Pony episode 25. And there's, tons of YouTube stuff still up there. It's just this one particular site. And, heck, there's even the 9.5 hour every episode of season 1 mega file that's still up there.
Well,
so it's not like Hasbro is slapping things down right and left. This is a particular instance of a particular website
Hey, Chef, we should watch that file and then live stream it. What do you think? Yeah, so I'm not sure there's much more. Do you have anything, Em, or are you...
I was going to say, and I know this doesn't apply to a lot of people who are fans outside of the U.S., but if you live in the U.S. and you have iTunes, you can purchase the show on iTunes.
It's even discounted now.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, we can get the whole thing. I'm a PC guy or I'm a Mac guy. It doesn't really matter. You can get it on iTunes, and it's what, $60 for?
It's now it's like 49 or
is it
39 right
yeah,
now.
It's
Yeah,
49,
they just
39.
dropped it down.
That's what, like $2.50 an episode. Are you willing? If you like the show enough, are you willing to pay $2.50 for an episode? I think I am.
All right.
I'm perfectly okay with
Money,
that.
take my money.
Go ahead. I'll freely give them my money. I think the show is great, and given the chance, I will throw money at a DVD box set because I want them to know that I am paying for the show because I like it. And so to make a huge stink over something that really isn't even debatable at this point, it seems futile.
Yep, $29.99 standard definition, $39.99 HD.
There you go.
And come on, you know you want the HD.
There you go.
I think I may click it right now. I'm going to buy me some My Little Ponies. Right here, live on the air. It doesn't mean that we have to stop the show, though. Let's see. So, Chef, what else we got?
Okay, so now after that epic rant, you know, everyone's like, okay, come out of your bunkers.
Repeat to yourself, it's just a show.
You should really just relax. Okay, so there actually is a change.org petition to have network allow international downloads of ponies via iTunes. You can try and sign this. It's got 500 signers, created by a guy from Australia. So, I mean, might as well give it a shot. Also, email Hub, be polite, ask when they're going to be available in other sectors of the world, the EU. Ask when they're going to be available in Australia. They don't have to dub Rainbow Dash into Australian, you know? They should be able to have...
How's it going, mate? I'm Applejack. I hope you enjoy the shrimp on the Barbie.
Apples on the Barbie.
Apples on the Barbie.
It's not
Insert Australian stereotypes here.
Crocodiles. All right, keep going. I'm sorry for derailing the show.
It's all good.
I heard Australians. I'm sorry. It's the reaction I have.
Yeah, sometimes we need you to insert a little bit of craziness to pull us out of the dour mood.
Yes, really. Come on. That's what I'm good at.
I'd say sign the petition, give it a shot. Email Hasbro, let them know that you want to purchase their show, but you want to be, you are in the EU, you are in Germany, you're in France, you're in Italy, you're Canada, obviously, Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, wherever you are. Email them and say, hey, why don't you offer these in our part of the world?
And you know how ironic it is? My Little Pony is aired on, I think, Treehouse channel, but in low def. It looks so, bad. Maybe because I'm pampered and stuff, and I just couldn't help but feel, what an irony. I was involved in this show, and my local channel doesn't provide high def for that, and I cannot access those content in proper conventional means. Something's kind of wrong here.
Yeah, you were sitting there with the Cintiq, just going through and drawing all those lines, and you know how crisp they should be. Mm-hmm. You want to count pixels on Pinkie Pie's mane. That's what you want to do.
Oh yeah.
All right. It said Maine there, Maine. All right, so yeah, that's a good one. It's currently the petition has 469. Come on, there's enough of you guys. Go ahead and click on that link, and let's go ahead and get some more of you guys, able to get Friendship is Magic on iTunes, because, that's good for everyone right there. And hopefully the Hasbro will actually pay attention to that, because I think there's enough people who are going to buy it, kind of like me trying to figure out my Apple ID. Ugh. All right, keep going, Chef.
Yeah. And please don't take the time to tell us why you hate iTunes. We really don't care.
I mean, I don't even like it, but I'm going to buy it off of it. Whatever.
Don't.
I'll have it forever. And that's all I'm going to say. Keep going.
Yeah.
Forget iTunes. I hate it.
Moving on. Brony's for Good and My Little Remix are doing a Christmas album called Smile. Its header image is a somewhat creepy humanized Pinkie Pie. But it is a huge charity album. Proceeds from the sale will go to the Children's Cancer Association. And they have an hour of music. And people that donate the most will get access to some neat prizes. There's some scarves, some derpy Monet painting, custom Nurse Red Hearts, 10,000 word one-shot fanfic from people. The actual release is on Christmas Day, so you'll be getting this late, unless Im is like a wizard and throws this out there tonight as a bonus episode or something.
Im, are you a wizard?
Would you like me to throw this up tonight?
We could give our fans a Christmas present.
Well, I was going to give them a Christmas present anyway, but we can give them more presents.
I will stay up all night doing this if you want me to do that.
That means I have to stay up too. Thanks, Chef.
That's
Rocko better shape up and draw something too. I mean, stop playing Skyrim.
No, Skyrim's perfectly good reason.
So yeah, there's
Ponies, not Skyrim.
That's true.
now we need the proper pony mod where you can play as Fluttershy and use her Fusroye.
Fusroye, and then they all become your friends. And
isn't there such a shout or such a power? I haven't played that far yet, but I think I heard someone talk that in the studio.
Yeah, I think there is the animal friendship shout, which makes critters come to your aid.
Come, my creatures.
Arise!
I hope. Can I replace the entire thing with that Fluttershy song? Just so many wonders. Just instead of yelling it just sings the entire song.
You don't even like the
If I could have Fluttershy yell out like Fusroye and have all the critters show up and start and butterflies start attacking some dude. All right, I think we're quickly losing Chef on this to our silliness.
Sigh. The only other thing else that really stood out this week was Equestria Daily released a how-to fan fiction. Basically this is the link is not working because I'm terrible. Basically, this is how you need to write fanfic if you want to get it off on the show or on Equestria Daily. Because there are hoops that you have to jump through and quality restrictions and all this other stuff. So if you want your pony fiction to be put up there on the net, on Equestria Daily, and held up for people to see and critique, well, check this link out in the show notes and, give it a shot.
Yeah, just some guides. I guess, spelling good. Knowing how to grammar is kind of nice.
Know how to word good. And other than that, it was just a slow week.
Yeah, besides the drama blow-ups, which really, come on, repeat to yourself, just a show. Really, just relax. No, everything's fine. We've got good, fun stuff coming soon, so, nothing but fun. All right, well, speaking of fic, scroll down the page. It's our books time as fanfic suggestions. I haven't read this, but it's one of my all-time favorites, so I want to tell you all that Vinyl Scratch Tapes has restarted. Season 2 is up. Looks like Vinyl Scratch is pretty much taking over a few of the stories this week. But yeah, that's a good one. Just what would happen if Vinyl Scratch and Octavia happen to have their own radio station? It's pretty silly. Pretty fun. And Chef, you've got one too.
Yeah, actually, I haven't had a chance to read any fanfic this week, so I just said go read Allegrisa.
It's good.
I think you used that last week. But go read Allegrisa.
You know what? You either used Allegrisa or you used your other go-to. So
I think it got updated actually just recently.
Allegrisa?
Yeah,
It's a good fic. You should go read that.
It was updated on the 12th of December. Quindici, so I'm going to guess that's chapter 15. Maybe.
It's a good fic. You should go read that. Okay. Em, what do you got?
This week I have a fic called Canterlot Follies, and it's a crossover. It's labeled a crossover, but you don't really have to have seen the other thing that it's based on to actually understand what's going on. The author did a really good job of writing it. It's based, obviously on ponies, and then it's a crossover with an old BBC show called Jeeves and Wooster, starring Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie. It was a comedy, and it's just, you don't have to have seen Jeeves and Wooster to read it, but if you have seen it, it's all that much funnier. The author did an absolutely excellent job of nailing the characters that Laurie and Fry played, and I read the entire fic in their voices, and I laughed a lot. It was very funny. And it's,
Sounds good.
It's basically about the upper elite of Canterlot, and the main character is sort of he's very rich, but he's lazy, and he just wastes his money, and he has a valet who tries to get him to do things. It's extremely funny.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Yeah, I saw that one pop up and was kind of like, ooh, more of the Canterlotian elite. That seems like a good way to go on that. So Rocko, who is making a little note that he wants me to talk about the fact that he has a name right now, or at least that's coming up in the topic time area. So Rocko, you want to go into that real quick, or tell you what, give us your book suggestion first, and then we'll move into that.
Sadly, I cannot provide any, as I haven't got around to read any fan fiction yet. So I really like some suggestion for first time MLP fanfic reader, and someone out there, please make an audio book of those great fan fictions. It will help me so much tremendously whether I can just draw while listening to something instead of reading the text. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Oh, Chef, I think Chef's got a little information for Rocko there.
Sweet.
For which one?
Well, I mean, just the fact that where can he find audiobooks for a lot of these things? For a lot of stories? YouTube.
That is true. There, if you look for some of them on there, they are people that have done YouTube readings. Like Fallout Equestria, it's as full of words as it is. People are working their way through and doing audiobooks of that. So look up on YouTube. Sometimes there is a.
What was the one that you did, Chef?
That's a state secret.
Oh, it's a secret nobody knows? Because I swear if we go back and listen to past episodes, you stated it at some point, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry, maybe I'm a retard.
It was posted up by Midnight Shadow.
All right. Well, that works.
Was a long time ago.
I still gotta ask you guys for links for those. I mean, 2 weeks of break, gotta draw, gotta listen to some of those sweetness.
Well, tell you what, if any of you listeners know any good audiobooks that he can listen to, why don't you go over to BronyShow.com, drop it in some of the in the show comments. That way, Rocko can take a look at them. That sounds like a good way to go.
Yeah, Rocko Koko would be really pleased.
And there's that name. So the pony name you're going by is now Rocko Koko?
I no longer mere Rocko, for I am Rocko Koko. Anyone get the reference?
I'm trying to. Does anybody?
Back in my brain.
No,
It's going past me.
Mojo.
Yeah, it sounded.
I got it.
I thought it sounded Mojo. Jab. I'm a podcaster. Yeah, it did sound kind of Mojo Jojo like.
Well, think about it. I mean, I'm pretty sure most people already know I am a furry, and what's my online alias? D-Rock Gorilla. So figures.
Yeah, just saw that silliness. All right, Rocko Koko. What's your cutie mark, huh?
Oh, it's anvil and hammer.
Oh man.
Consider the kind of stuff I do. I consider myself a bit of craftsman, kind of like the blacksmith, at the forges, forging the weapons and assets and armors for the animators and whoever's on the next line of the job. That's I mean, I like to take great care of the work I do and put just the actual effort to make sure my colleagues work. I mean, will have an easier time to do whatever they needed to do, and hence I guess that's the attitude keep me in the industry for 6 years. I mean, maybe it's kind of arrogant of me saying that, but maybe I could use some of that kind of maybe I could grow some pride. Ha!
Yeah. All right. Well, that's actually a really nice little segue. We don't have any episode to talk about this week, but since you have worked on this as well as other animation, let's go ahead and go a little bit just to talk about life inside of an animation studio. We can kind of just start out a little general, broad, and then maybe you can give us some of the secret dark awesomeness of how things were like at Studio B. Give us kind of the insides, the wink nod, just to be like, oh yeah, Jason really likes everything bagels delivered to his desk at noon. Oh, okay, now I know how to sneak in and give him a high five. No, but all right. So let's see. So what's a day in your life like?
Well, I drive and try to look for a suitable parking spot that is not going to charge me anything near Atomic Cartoons. Yeah, I currently work for Atomic Cartoons, which I worked. Actually, it's the first studio I work for first animation studio I work for a long duration. We Atomic Cartoons used to create stuff like Atomic Betty. I also involved in working on Captain Flamingo and Johnny Test, and recently we got a lot going on. So yeah, keep your eyes out. And as for the daily, what is like, where like the song "Go Monkey," get in there, do the job. I don't know. I mean, let me think about it. Get in there, swipe the card, and pretty much like most of other industry. But the thing is, we're casually, or sometimes some people we're really interested in being creative, and this the kind of leeway we can have in this industry is probably the best thing about working in the animation industry, and plus being surrounded by people of roughly likely minded is one of the most priceless feeling out there. And consider the fact that this is got to be the industries that will tolerate my moderately flawed personality, so I don't really need to worry too much about about myself. Of course, I still need to act with common sense, with a good manner and honor, like work ethic. Well, that's really typical Chinese of me saying those words, eh?
Mm-hmm. So let's just see. Let's look at this. So you probably come in and you're on the animation side, correct? Because there's
yes.
Oh, okay.
And builder. Basically, I create assets, like character models and prop models for the animators and posers, or what are they called now? Layout, like people who arrange things for animation.
So if somebody says we need 6 crates for this scene, you're the one that's like crate. You're the one kind of building what the background, or maybe not the background, but pretty much what everyone would end up using.
Exactly. Okay. Basically, I'm provided with the design and the color reference, and my job is to make sure the props. Say, let's do the crates. The crates needs to be broken, so I have to make sure the way I draw the crates would be allowed to be break into pieces by the animators in the most efficient way, because my job is to make sure the animators do as little as possible, so they can focus on the timing and the interaction with the character. my job is figure out the mechanic, like how the piece is gonna be shattered. Usually, I would be provided with the first design, and the second design would be the crate being broken into pieces with the shards and the debris. And my creative, where I get a bit creative, would be how I can make sure the crate from undamaged or default status to broken into pieces. Like what can I do to make sure the animators can move the debris with the minimum amount of effort, and organize it in a way that they don't get confused and they can find their way to each individual pieces and stuff. And character gets a lot more complicated because character needs to be able to have the different poses. They need to be able to say, stand, run around, and talk and blink and do some more. So when we do this, we don't just trace and draw. We have to do extended amount of tasks ourselves to make sure, okay, this character can easily do this pose or do a pose close enough that animators only do minimal amount of modifying to create the next key pose. Is everyone familiar with the term key pose?
Yes. I've heard it turn around. Looks like Starry actually knows it pretty well because she's done animation as well, so that makes sense. But we'll tell you what. Explain that just for a second, and then I'm kind of curious. So, what exactly is a key post then? Just for anyone out there that may not know it.
A key pose would be I haven't actually animated for ages, but key pose I think is basically the most important poses of a sequence of animation, and we nail the key pose first. Say like in a run cycle, the most important key pose would be the pose that the four legs kind of cross together and the four legs that spread out, like the two extreme of the runs. That would be the two primary key pose, and this and then we can break down with more key poses. And once we break down more key poses, we draw the in betweens to connect together, and that's what you call a sequence of animation, or whatever that term is. I'm sorry, Dom. I'm really forgetting the terminology.
Oh no, that's no problem. I mean, just kind of curious about the whole process that you guys go through to put all these things on. So, of course, it sounds like the entire thing is pretty intensive. I mean, is it? And in many cases, with a lot of these shows, you're trying to churn them out pretty quick. Is the usual 10 to 12 hour days kind of the normal for you guys?
Yes, depends on the situation of the show. Because whenever we get a new show to start with, we have to start from zero. That means we have to build every character. Excuse me. Every character from ground up, from all the important angles. Say the front, 3/4 front, side, 3/4 back, and back view. Then those characters has to be able to at least talk in front view, 3/4 back, and side view. So we have to make sure we got all the different mouth poses and stuff in there. So the beginning of the show is always the hardest. But once we got more and more assets, we were really good, really smart builders or directors or whoever organized this, say Wuti, because he's pretty much the guy who taught me the most important aspect of My Little Pony building for My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is to locate where you can possibly to reuse things. There's a function in Flash that allow you to clone, to duplicate the symbols or assets and recolor them and rename them, so you can save a lot of time. So that's why I think builder is like the blacksmith. We make the molds for the arrowheads or the swords and weapons. and we created the tools others needed, and the tools we needed ourselves to produce as many fine, disciplined, builds in the shortest time as possible. It's about efficiency and about how hard-nosed we can get to make sure that the builds are as tight as possible. Because if we screw one part up, this may come back and haunt us later on. So that's why build is which I consider is an extremely disciplined, intensive work, and probably not exactly the most creative, but you know what? I'm happy and really proud I do this kind of stuff because it fits my personality well. Like I mentioned before, my basketball style is more also Detroit bad boys, like Dennis Rodman, Bill Laimbeer. It reflects upon this personality of mine. I'm in basketball. My job is defense, do the rebound, hustle, dive for the ball, and take charge. And even when needed, foul, or even in risk of dishing out really hard fouls. Mm-hmm. So that kind of sums up. I think that's a good way to sum up whether my line of work and how it clicks with my personality, and I hope that kind of sheds online on what my life is in animation studio.
Okay.
On my perspective, because I haven't got around to do the other line of work too much.
Okay. Well, I think the only other question I have, and then everyone else can jump in if they've got anything, is so you are currently, as you said, working at Atomic right now. You used to work at Studio B, and so explain to us a little bit of like what that was like working working under that team. You have to excuse me. I'm a little curious.
Actually, it's pretty much the team. Our team try to communicate with each other as much as possible, so we know what we're doing, and we can possibly lend a hand or just say, "Hey, you don't need to do this. This already done, or you got a better. There's a way to go around with it. Basically, you might as well to say slacking off, but for good excuses and not to compromising work. So it's a good kind of slack off. Good. Like the team basically have to work tight knit together to understand, like our overall progress and what's needed to be done. But the thing is, it's usually pretty much the same. We are provided with the design, and we work, and sometimes we have just a bit of leeway with our chats, because at some point we might just work on something detail intensive but doesn't require too much thinking. Then we get chatting and talk a bunch of random stuff. Some of the stuff are so random that it's Pinkie Pie random. In fact, I think some people already think I'm Pinkie Pie random already, and I need my sugar rush or I fell asleep. So on the sugar dependence, I'm pretty sure I'm almost on par with Pinkie Pie.
That's not a bad thing to do, just as long as it don't progress into bad territory on that. No, I know I shoveled my amount of cookies a little bit earlier today, so I've gotten my allotment on that. Chef or M, you have any questions?
I'm good. You pretty much covered everything.
Yeah. Woohoo! Look at me. I'm dominating once more.
Tearing it up in front of the mic.
Yep. I can be a chatty Cathy, that is for sure. Okay, well, if there's not anything, unless, Rocko Koko over there wants to talk a little bit more about any shout-outs he wants to do to the community at large. I know that when we did the live show, Sibsy and Raven definitely both said hello.
Oh, I just want to say to my friends at Studio B /DMX, and actually pretty much everyone out there, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and howdy how!
Mr. Hanky. All right, good deal. So what we can do now is we're going to go ahead and segment over to our little email segment. If you would like to send an email across to us and have me, Chef, or any of our great guests send an email across, you can do that and email us at bronyville@gmail.com. In the usual order, I will go first, Chef will go second, then M and Rocko will go ahead and fill in the rest of these. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start. Greeting Chef Sandy and Apple Cider and the guest whom shall not be known. Just wanted to write in real quick because of something awesome I did for my son today. Today was his 6th birthday, and we both love My Little Pony. My wife, however, thinks he shouldn't be watching it. I've often threatened to buy him ponies for this or that, and let's say she wasn't very loving or tolerating. Well, today, as a surprise, I went to the local party store and bought 2 blue balloons and 1 yellow and put them over at my parents' house before he got out of school. As the party would have some time before he came home, he and I sat back and watched some ponies, Discord and Heartswarming Eve, and I made sure he noted each cutie mark, especially Pinkie Pie's. When we got to my parents at the party, he went over to the balloons and started freaking out. He was excited to see Pinkie's cutie mark IRL, but it didn't count the fact that Pinkie seeing her cutie mark in Return of Harmony is what led her to go gray and all Haiti. He didn't really want to be near them, and then I reminded him that Discord is a stone again and all is well. Sorry for the verbose story, but I wanted to share. Myself, Rainbow Dash Party of One, my son, Pinkie Pie Luna Eclipse. Now to work on the wife. Don't see the name on that, but very, very cool. Yeah, just a little bit of subterfuge there. I actually find it interesting. I didn't read the part where he started freaking out a little bit because of the cutie mark, because of the Return of Harmony thing. But that's cute.
Yeah, the guy actually didn't sign his name on that particular email.
That's fine. All right, that's neat. But yeah, again, another one of the ones where we wanted to have some people who actually did watch it with their kids. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Thanks for sending that one in. All right, Sheffy, what we got next?
All right, this next one is from the Lone Crow. Dear Apple Cider and Chef Sandy, once again, great episode. It takes a brilliant show of composure and showmanship to be able to record episode 35 like you did and still have it turn out enjoyable. The holidays are quite hectic for most every pony, but it's very much worth it in order to share special days with those we love. I hope you two spend the holidays happy and safe, and you deserve nothing less, knowing how many smiles you bring to faces each day. I just thought I'd let you know that I took your collective advice to heart and decided to try my hoof at sharing some pony art. I put together a pretty picture of our pearl pony princess, Celestia, and I'm happy to report that it was well received in a recent draw friend. It feels good to reach out and contribute my small part to this wonderful fandom. I've also made the leap into making a custom pony. Not your typical custom, though. It's a figurine sculpted out of low-temperature modeling clay shaped over a wire skeleton. Though not perfect, it came out better than I could have hoped, and as the ones who inspired my foray into the creative community, I wanted you two to have the first look. Attached you'll find some snapshots of everyone's favorite Mistress Mayor of Muffins, the one and only Derpy Hooves, complete with muffin accessory. Again, thank you two so much. Keep warm, keep safe. The Lone Crow.
Oh no, I don't see the images. Let me find them.
I need to copy-paste them into the file.
Let's see. Images, pony progress. All right, I can at least show M real quick. Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Oh, that is nice.
Yup. Add these
and they will be inside the Google Doc.
There we go. I'm taking a look at that. Yay, it's a derpy.
Dope.
Yeah, I want to see. Hey, why is she all wall-eyed? You should fix that. Her eyes look like they're off. That's...
Oh, that looks really nice.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so let's see. Moving on. Oh, yeah, there we go. Wall-eyed mare. Hey, she's got a muffin. Okay, let's see. If you would like to get the next one there, M, if you need me to... Oh. Google Docs keeps changing. It's like images are getting added. It looks like it's the one by Just Bob.
All right. From Just Bob. On a lot of your recent shows, you've been talking about people who might feel out of place going to meetups, convincing them that the fandom is a nice community who is very accepting. While I admit that's true, I actually have the opposite problem. I find that a lot of the people who go to these meetups just tend to make fools of themselves in public. If you're at an anime convention or whatever, it's fine to randomly burst into song because craziness is generally accepted at those things. But singing Giggle at the Ghosties outside of a haunted house and endlessly repeating internet memes that were never funny in the first place have made me not want to be part of this fandom anymore. Am I just an introvert who doesn't want to have fun? Or do you think fans really could represent themselves in public better? I have no problem with t-shirts, though, since they're entirely unintrusive.
Just Bob. I'll let Chef go ahead and handle the first foray into this.
Okay, so actually, I replied to this guy and had a bit of dialogue with him outside of the show because I was like, that seems familiar. And yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about. I do understand your reluctance, and I myself am of the same mind. I feel extremely uncomfortable when that kind of stuff occurs because, well, it is out of place. It is weird. And while, yeah, we love My Little Pony, we don't need to necessarily be singing the songs in public. The haunted house thing, I will admit, made me very uncomfortable. And that was a meet that I ran. I'm placing something. And I would think that, yeah, just as you don't want to be that guy, perhaps you should stop for half a second and think that perhaps I maybe should not sing Giggle at the Ghosties or any other such songs in public. Now, I do admit that I am on the upper bound of the community's age bracket. I'm 28, and most of y'all on the show are as well. We have been involved in these fandoms for a long in fandoms in general for a long time, and we've seen this kind of behavior with younger people. It is totally human nature to be very outspoken about the things you like, but those of us that are perhaps a little older and have been involved with it longer have seen it and are a bit uncomfortable. I understand his position and agree with him.
Yeah, we are also of the same mindset. That we've had a recent meetup where I have to say 95% of the people there were awesome and cool and great. And then there is always going to be the one person that is just a little bit too loud, a little bit too crazy, a little bit too saying a few of the things that are just a little tiniest bit irksome. I think the important thing to know is just to, you are going to like some, you're not going to gel as well with others, and just surround yourself with people who, you feel like you can connect with. It's simple dealing with people right there. There are going to be some people that it works with and some people that don't. And I do agree that a lot of it seems to be the younger audience that just they're having their first little bouts of freedom and yay, we're so fun. I'm having so much fun, and they don't realize how crazy their fun gets.
And it's like he says, this is hardly unique to the pony fandom. This is very prevalent anime, the people that wear their Rin costumes, people that wear tails in public.
Or people who dress up like Space Marine and orcs. I think guys, just don't be too weird. I mean, take it from experience. For I am Rocko Koko has paid dearly for being weird. So please don't be like Rocko Koko.
And there's nothing wrong with being just a little eccentric. I mean, we can all be eccentric. So Giggle at the Ghosties, you know what? You guys can sing, stuff at any point. I mean, I think even at our little meet that we had recently, we had at one point ended up bursting somewhat into a song. But, that was in a small room at a hotel that we had rented. It wasn't out in the middle of a public area. So, things happen.
Time and place. That is the key. There is a time and a place for everything.
Be considerate, and what would Confucius would say, don't do the things that you don't wish others do to you. So please be considerate.
All right. I think, that takes care of that. Rocco, we do have you up for the next one, if you would like to do so.
Bat us up. Greetings to you, Apple Cider Chef Sandy, and whatever awesome guests you may or may not have. First of all, a little late, quote, what is that, bracket, curse you, procrastination. But about the two of you engaging in some karaoke at BronyCon. Yes, fucking yes. And if Chef Sandy won't do it, I toss my own talentless hat into the ring. Anyway, in a world of many Brony podcasts popping up, I find yours to be the most entertaining to listen to you. I don't know if it is because it was the first one I listened to, or because I love me a little crazy in shows. Seriously, we need a AC/mic only show, but I doubt the internet is ready for it. I've always been a curious person, and as with anything I get into, I always like to hear both sides of the story. With MLP, I am constantly surrounded with great praise for the show, but I'm also fascinated with what people consider its flaws. It is a way to see both sides of may make you think differently about what's going on, and or appreciate the effort that exudes from the show. This is also probably a great reason why the characters are so well loved, and in some instances, see Fenneker's reaction to episode 34. A little hate can be absolutely hilarious. Anyway, I was curious to see if any of you guys have had disagreements about certain aspects with others, and if it made you think a bit differently about what you thought about it. I know that a number of my friends rather liked made the best pet win, and disliked the mysterious male duel, while I feel it's completely opposite. And if I go into why, this email will just get longer than it needs to be, so I will stop. To conclude, thank you for filling 1.5 hours out of 168 draft-filled ones every week with laughter and giddiness. Keep up the good work, and I can't wait to see you guys at BronyCon. Where no doubt my perceptions of what you guys look like will be ultimately shattered. Since you sincerely yours, and possibly willing to give you a nice donation if you pronounce my name correctly, if this is read on the air. Oh my God, why do you guys have to torture me?
Months of...
Go with that. That sounds good.
I don't know. Why do you guys have to test the degree of my English? Seriously, I'm speaking English here, man. P.S. I would like everyone else and say that insert name here is the best pony. Instead, I would take this space and to say Rarity is not the only best pony, but also most beautiful, gorgeous. Just want to give her a big hug, pony ever. Yeah, that doesn't sound creepy at all.
I just want to give a hug to a Rarity. No problem with that.
Maybe it sounds creepy when I deliver those lines. Yeah.
I want to give her a hug, big hug ever.
I'd hug a pony.
Is it gonna be a gorilla flavored, or a bear flavored, or sumo flavored?
For what, the hug? I don't know. Which one are you? How are you coming with that?
I'm a big
bear sumo.
Bear sumo hug.
Oh, bear gorilla sumo hug. I can do all three.
All at once. Let's see. As for as kind of going back with the things that we disagree at, if you don't know, perhaps me and Chef disagree on Best Pony a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a bit.
Just a touch. We might disagree. And that's kind of also one of the reasons that we bring up the what's your favorite episode, because, everyone's going to have their little different pieces to it. I absolutely, just to the top of my list is the Luna Eclipsed is my favorite episode. After watching, the most recent holiday episode, I went back and watched it, and I went, "Oh, this episode is so good." So yeah, we certainly do have our little disagreements on things like that. That's nothing new. Let's see. What other things can we say about this? I don't know if there's any karaoke, but that would be totally cool. But hold on,
I can sing.
You can? Well,
Oh, can he?
Sheffy, my dear, I cannot express my delight. It's abundantly clear that somewhere out here is a pony that'll suit you just right.
I can't wait to get started. But then I have to ad-lib words. But
I cheated. I
is,
had all the lyrics pulled up.
Oh. The pony must be flying and cool.
Well, there's
Flying
a pony
cool.
here.
Got it.
I'm sure there's a
Yeah.
pony here for you, but I'm pretty sure it's not Dash.
Yeah, that's pretty much the entire song would turn into a Find a Pony song, and it's going to lead to be Rainbow Dash.
Yeah, and you're going to try to convince me that Twilight or Rarity or Fluttershy
Or anyone.
Applejack or Pinkie Pie are the best. But no, I need something that's
Here, how about a
fast.
Lyra? You know what? I need to make the lyrics for that, because that seems like that could be really funny.
Oh, that's gonna be so rad. You guys should put it in YouTube.
Oh, dude, that'd be great. Okay, so we should probably do that at some point.
Yes, we should collaborate on that and not necessarily ad-lib it while trying to record a show.
Gah! He always ruins my ideas.
Yeah, I know.
I am Captain
it's
No
so-
Fun.
That's fine. Oh, and just as a little appendium, I don't know if this was covered in another episode, but I didn't think last episode was that bad.
Yeah, people were like, you were so negative and mean about the show. And I'm like, we said it was okay.
Yeah, it's just, it wasn't on top. It was just,
Yeah.
all right. And you know what? I think I brightened up to it after we recorded. I actually went, it was
like,
decent. I think I might have come out a little bit more negative, but I think it was a decent episode. No.
I think the thing is the show has set such an insanely high bar that we just expect we have such a high expectation, which deservedly so. I hope I'm not going to get into any trouble by saying that.
Well, I think it's okay to say that the fan community has grown to a point where we kind of expect things to come out as Cutie Mark Chronicles.
Yeah.
Where there's just kind of like, we should have an episode that has Vinyl Scratch and Octavia, and they're fighting on a stage for best. And like, no, shh. Calm yourself. Calm. How about an episode about dresses?
Okay.
Let me say on this, Rarity is making a dress. Good. We're doing that. So.
Now we have to see their cloaks. All the cloaks that showed up. All right, so AC, there's one more email left.
Is that mine? I guess I got to do it.
Guess so.
I like this one. Dear the awesome apple cider, the outstanding Chef Sandy, and amazing guests. I'll let you argue over whose title is the best. Mine.
Okay.
First, let me say how great your show is. I found your podcast while you were on episode 29. It made it my mission to catch up. Your podcast is by far the best quality MLP podcast in this wonderful community. Now that episode 35 is coming up, I decided it's time to finally send an email, so forgive if this one sucks. Either way, I can't wait to listen to your next podcast. What I wanted to tell you is what I've noticed during the songs. They reveal some interesting things about the world. In the Find a Pet song, Rainbow Dash sings the line, "I need something fast like a bullet to keep up with me." She says bullet, which means there are guns in Equestria. In the song Every Pony Should Know, Rarity launched the Zeppelin with a champagne bottle. That means that Equestria has alcohol. Barry Punch is happy. With the combination of guns and alcohol in the same world, that means that there would be violence. The creation of guns itself is proof enough, and with the newest Christmas episode, it showed that ponies were almost hostile to each other based on race, which, if you notice, the Pegasus were Greek culture, unicorns were medieval, and earth ponies were Renaissance. So Equestria is not the perfect place with no violence except for Everfree Forest, like it seemed to be in Season 1. Do you think the series will get darker as they reveal more about Equestria? Thanks for reading this email. If you grace me with the blessing of reading this comment, then you will have given me the best Christmas gift ever. Every pony have a Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or Hearthwarming Eve. Oh, and Happy New Year. Sincerely, Zoran Sky, my OC. P.S. Rainbow Dash is best pony, but I love them all so much. Smile.
Smiley face. Okay, lyrics of songs. Well, first of all, bullet can refer to pretty much any projectile propelled through the air, so it could be a sling bullet. But then again, there has been a pony that has a bow and arrow, a unicorn that has a bow and arrow for a cutie mark, and has the fan named Archer. So clearly, archery and stuff like that. I mean, the guards have armor.
And I do have to ruin everything. What is Rainbow Dash's pet's name? And why is he called? And why is he called that? Oh, he's built like a tank.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that reminds me. What was my role in World of Warcraft? Tank.
I need a pet that can DPS with me. That's what I need.
And yeah, Equestria has alcohol. How else do you think they keep,
How do you think I'm employed, sucker? All right.
Yeah. And then, of course, there was the Wild West ponies who were getting messed up on salt, which I don't know if the horses get messed up on copious amounts of salt.
Hey, Chef,
I don't know.
I'm going to end up using my our phrase, repeat to yourself, it's just a show. We're not going to see the season get darker. It's the fact that there are allusions to tanks and bullets and guns and alcohol simply means that, guess what? It's kind of like our world, except a hyper kiddie, cool, crazy, happy world opposed to the somewhat dark, somewhat world that we live in. So that's probably about as far as it's going to go down that road. I mean, we're never going to have the episode where there's a carriage drive by in front of Sugar Cube Corner. So
So they're not going to have a cart-mounted trebuchet.
I mean, think about it. The just to go back to Over a Barrel, it was pies. Like, they had a shootout. It was pies. The most violent thing you can say ever happened on the show was a pie fight.
But part of me really wish the show could be more than just a sitcom, slice of life comedy, because the characters are so engaging. I'm pretty sure you guys also feel the same way as I do when I say I can feel a bit of myself in all 6 of the ponies. I mean, in my case, even Rainbow Dash a little bit too. Consider Rainbow Dash is possibly the pony that doesn't resemble me the least. Yeah.
So you're saying that Rainbow Dash is worst pony? Gotcha. Okay, so. Sorry, I had to. That was my jab for the week. Yeah, I mean, I think that's all it is. I think that there definitely is things that you could say that these things exist in the world. I highly doubt you will ever see them, because if it ever comes down to somebody doing something that could be considered aggressive, it will be a magic spell or a pie or that's as far as it's going to go. You can go to your grimdark story and have your wars and everything like that, but the show itself is going to stay.
Yeah, it's going to stay cute and kid friendly.
I'm just waiting for my dose of pony violence from Fighting is Magic.
Oh, there you go. That's...
I mean, that game is gonna wash away the bad feeling I got for Marvel versus Capcom, whatever that is, which make me so angry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think everyone, you know, and even like the fighting in that is very, very kiddie in its own like little way. Like, sure, they're kind of bashing against each other, but there's never like any blood or anything, and they all just kind of bounce around and flop. You know, it's just kind of like it's sparring almost at that point.
You mean Fluttershy is not going to have a neck snap attack? What a surprise!
I don't know. It might be they might have a finisher
Fatality,
on that.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna unleash Angel. Yeah, I'm not going to call him King Angel. Angel as Angel Cabrera. Fluttershy gonna unleash Angel and do the dirty work for her.
She rolls deep.
Has all of her companions go and take care of everything. No, you handle those. Not the bees! Not the bees! All right, that's where I'm going to end that. Okay, and that takes care of thank you, everyone, for sending across your emails on that. As said, you can send those to bronyville@gmail.com. I'm going to put down the information for the iTunes Bronies because I completely forgot to, it seems like, this week. I did do the search, so you can all. I do want to thank you all who did put it in. We do have officially a big round 400 ratings on iTunes.
Nice.
Yep, hit the 400 mark. I'll go ahead and make sure next week we add in I add in everyone from this week. But please go inside there. Leave us a good review. That would be awesome. So that way we go higher up on iTunes. Actually, I'm somewhat curious now. If you go to go to podcasts, go to TV. I wonder if we constantly show up there now. I mean, we're like super popular now. Oh,
yeah. 395 5 stars. That is some good stuff.
That means that ponies like us a lot. Let's see how far.
And that's great.
Yep, it isn't even. It's more than halfway down, or it's less than halfway down the page there on the iTunes store.
Fantastic.
Eat that Geekbox and HD Nation and John Hodgman. Our show's better than John Hodgman. You hear that?
But I like John Hodgman.
Well,
He was John Hodgman is one of the guys who does Daily Show.
Mm-hmm. We're also better than Chelsea lately.
Okay.
There you go. Dexter Podcasts. All right, I could go through a list of this, but we're pretty good. Thank you, everyone, and please send in more. We still have to beat Sesame Street, who are pretty high out there. All right, sounds good. Let me go ahead and move back here. So we've, let's see, I am such a new, how do I give y'all a 5-star iTunes rating? Oh, well, if you don't know how to give a 5-star iTunes rating, you noob, you can do that by simply logging into iTunes with your account. Go to our podcast by just doing Bronyville up in the search window. You'll find Chef and my smiling faces. You click on that. And then further down the page, you'll have the option to click and rate and also leave a review. If you leave a review, that's how we can say your name on the episode. If you just click and rate, we can't say your names. So, there you go. That's how you do that. 359-212. All right. Looks good. All right, so that goes and wraps that piece up. So we're getting to the end towards this episode. So there's one thing that we have to do, our one cool thing. The one thing that if you don't pay attention to the rest of the show, well, you listen to all of it. But just check out these links. They're pretty cool. My one cool thing for this week is Yogi's Basket Break. Yes, so, okay, it deals with Yogi the Bear. How does it deal with My Little Ponies? I'm not saying anything more than the fact that you should watch it. It's pretty well animated. It's pretty cool. It's awesome. You should check that out. Yogi's Basket Break. It's on the show notes, which you can find over at bronyshow.com, and hit the link and go to it. Chefers.
Okay. My thing this week is Equestrian Knitting, the Tumblr. I recently received a completely adorable knitted yarn Rainbow Dash plush, and I'm hugging it right now.
Sweet.
I had resigned myself to not ever being able to acquire a My Little Pony dash of any sort because they always go so crazy. And Spark Absurd of Equestria Knitting was like, hey, really like your show, and I want to send you one of these. And I was like, oh my god, yes. And now she lords it over the other ponies on my desk, watching over them.
Wow, that's an awesome Applejack with hat.
Oh, this Tumblr
And she has a
Oh,
DeviantArt, a Twitter, and a store.
yeah,
an
Celestia is
Etsy.
awesome, dude.
And really, I mean, there's enough of us out here to just purchase this. I mean, admittedly, it's $100. These are a lot of work, and the fact that she gave me one of these was just amazing, and I'm really grateful. So you should check out the link on her thing, the link on her site, and maybe you can be the lucky winner of another Rainbow Dash.
I love the image that's there. That's on like the second page right now, which is I'd rather be knitting, and it's just Fluttershy there. Just that's just adorable. All right, let's see, Em, what do you got?
All right, well, this week my one cool thing comes from another fellow podcaster. The guys over at Electric Brony are running a limerick contest. So you send in your pony-related limericks, and the 5 top limericks that they will choose, it's coming up pretty soon. The deadline is pretty soon. The 5 winners that they choose will each receive the Humble Indie Bundle from Steam, which includes a bunch of indie games like Super Meat Boy and Shank. And the top prize, will also be able to choose any game up to $60 on Steam that they can receive in also along with this. So it's very cool, and time's running out. So I posted a link in the show notes, and you can go over to their website. Bear in mind, however, the link that I posted is safe for work, but the rest of their website and the entirety of their podcast is not.
So just a little warning there, but there is some things to win with the Humble Indie Bundle and some of the other prize packs. So if you want some Steam stuff and think you can write yourself up a limerick, do it.
Yep. And just as a word of warning, the Electric Brony podcast is explicit.
It's extremely explicit.
Just going to put that out there.
Very, very explicit.
Some of you, hey, but some of you might like that things, you know.
I would like to point out, however,
You didn't.
That the man who runs Electric Brony podcast is actually a very faithful Bronyville listener.
Yay!
So
Very, very good.
Cool. Nice to have you listening, dude. All right, Rocko Koko Robot, what do you got for yours?
Well, since I haven't, since me being busy recently, haven't got into the community enough, I can only pull out something on the personal side. Since it's winter, it may be a bit relevant too. It's a fan art called Winter Moon Celebration. It features both our great hosts here, Apple Cider and Chef Sandy, and you have the truly Rocko Koko. And this is done by a fellow Brony named Death Pony, SDEATHPWNY. The dude is from Germany, and this is the first NLP fan art that features my pony Rocko Koko. I mean, what can I say? It feels so great, so awesome to be, loved and appreciated, considering I'm a bit on the flying under the radar, not providing enough content yet. People remember me. What can I say? Don't call Sean. Really,
Yeah, I'm looking at this and like, okay, so I'm assuming, considering the fact the anvil and hammer, I think I see you kind of front and center there, the awfully yellow there. Would that be you? Yep.
How obvious, eh?
And if you look over to the side, just you might see 2 podcast co-hosts. One of us kind of right behind Twilight, and hey, look, it's Starry Night. And oh, okay, well, Chef Scott is obviously is a little distracted.
I'm like, woo, waving my hopes
Yeah,
around.
everybody else is having fun. You're just hanging out over there, just looking out the window, going Rainbow Dash, Rainbow Dash, Rainbow Dash.
I think he's looking at.
I'm
Rainbow
seeing
Dash.
all the things.
Little known fact.
See how many other celebrity ponies you can pick up. There's some really important ones there.
I definitely see Sibsy. I see Fosticorn.
Yeah, Fosticorn is there.
Let's see. There's Surprise up there holding Pinky. That's the ones I pick right offhand. I feel like there's
Raven.
Yeah. I've never actually known what Ravens looks like, so. That might be her. I think hers and Sibsy's look pretty similar. Yeah.
There's Fee and I think Seth or Serial with the box.
Oh yeah, I think so. There's at least I think I see Serial right there. So yeah, there's plenty of us showing up on that on this little thing. It's a really cool picture. You should check it out. It's just
awesome.
The fact that it includes so many of the contributors to the fandom as a whole.
And that pony get my physique right. In person, I'm 6'3" and 220 pounds. So figures I play basketball and play as big as possible. Well, don't expect me to do a two-handed dunk. Seriously, don't.
Well, I'm 6'3" and 220 pounds too, but it's not exactly 220 pounds. Well, I just say that I've still got to work out a little bit.
No comment.
He's got a cute chubby belly.
Thank you, baby.
Uh,
Oh, how
so
cute. He doesn't get out a lot and does tech support for work. He's lazy. All right. That's good for me. All right, guys. Well, that looks like that takes care of this episode. We've reached the end. We've done our cool things, and it's time for us to go ahead and wrap it up and say goodbye for today. I want to first say thank you very much, Chef, for bringing the thunder once again.
You're welcome.
Woo, thunder! Yay!
Thunder, kaboom!
Yay.
I want to thank M. Thanks, man, for showing up.
As always, yeah.
Yeah, fixing out our audio setup. Hopefully this episode will be a little less buzzy. I spent so long trying to fix that. And also, hey, Rocko, thanks for showing up.
It's an honor, and thank you for having me again. Hey,
it's great to have you on the show, man. It's good to know that the people who are responsible for making the show, at least in some way, appreciate what we do. And we try and give you guys, we try and give all of you the very best that we can every week, just to keep this thing going. Because we love ponies. Never a year and a half ago, never would have imagined I would say that, but we love ponies. All right, so let's go ahead and do the wrap-up. You can always go ahead and find the website itself over at bronyshow.com. Let me also tell you that I've got buttons. If you want to donate across to us, go to bronyshow.com. If you leave us a $10 donation, you will get a pack of these buttons, limited edition Bronyville buttons, which I should leave a post up so that way you can take a look at them. $20 if you are international. All of this helps it so not only we can give you the buttons, but you're also paying for the content of us trying to get interviews with all of the staff and individuals at BronyCon and Anime on Display. So that is animation on display. I apologize. And if you could go ahead, leave us a review on iTunes, as we stated before. That will help us get higher in the ratings there. You can follow us over on Twitter. My Twitter account happens to be Bronyville.
And mine is Chef Sandy.
Hey, we do have Google Plus, so if you want to do that, look for Bronyville Podcast. We do have our meetup groups. Mine is the Bronies of Northern California.
And mine is Bronies from Texas.
And I think we got everything. Anything else I'm missing out? Nope, sounds like we're good. All right, that'll go ahead and wrap up episode 36. You all have a very good holidays. We will be recording and might have something special for the New Year's, so keep your ears peeled. We might do something, we might not. It's all up in the air. And we'll go ahead and catch you all next week. Sleep well, every pony.
Adios.
Good night.
Take a seat, young, stay around for a spell. I got a cause we got something to do, cause we through with the new. We're talking old school, just we back in the day. It was the problem of the time. Imagine all the great singing together in rhymes and listening together on old gramophones and on old radios. It was a hell of a time. Let me tell you, young man, the old days were grand. You walked out to the beaches and your who's in the sand. Have no worries, always grand as can be. So everybody take a listen, open your eyes and see. I've never felt before. Everyone goes insane. It's like a game, except everyone wins. Why isn't music like that anymore? My God, everything is such a bore now. Everything's the same over again. With all the hipping and hopping and the bipping and the bobbing. They don't know what the jazz is all about. You see, you look back at your days. I'm sure you will experience it sometime. Cause when you grow old, everything seems cold. They